Hello, hello. Couple of days ago, I made a video about things that slow down our progress, learning the languages. So you can watch it somewhere here or here, so somewhere there. And I thought, actually, I was only talking theoretical stuff, which is also very important, but I actually didn't deliver any actual solution. Shame on me. Okay, sorry, my perfectionistic part was talking, don't do it to yourself, don't do it to yourself. So where this fear comes from, which are the reasons, and how to get rid of it? Most people think that the fear of making mistakes is just about embarrassment, but it goes way deeper. And it actually comes from two places: evolution and childhood experiences. So let's break it down. Evolutionary roots or survival instinct. Thousands of years ago, humans survived in tribes. If you made a mistake that upsets the group, and if you were seen as a weak, unreliable, or not useful, you could be rejected. And back then, rejection didn't just mean loneliness. It meant starvation or death. So our brains developed this survival instinct. Don't mess up or you'll be left behind. Fast forward to today, and even though we won't literally die, if we make a mistake, our brain still reacts as if we will. You probably saw this trend on TikTok. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't understand the difference between something and being held on a gunpoint. This fear of rejection still exists in our brains today, even though modern life isn't as dangerous, and our brain still sees social mistakes as a threat triggering anxiety. Childhood, the fear of disapproval. I think in this case I want to ask you to think how mistakes were treated when you were a kid. Maybe you got laughed at for answering a question wrong in the class. Maybe your parents only gave you praise when you were perfect. For example, my English teacher at the school used to read our texts with mistakes, of course, in front of the whole class and laughed like, oh my god, how this and this person could write it like this. Oh my god, so stupid. It was literally like that. So sometimes I think, okay, where my social anxiety comes from? Yeah, this is where it comes from. Or maybe you also heard something like this from your parents. Why can't you be like Mark or Kevin? You should know better than that. I'm proud of you, but you could have done better. If you fail, you embarrass the family. Are you sure? What if you get it wrong? You always mess things up. What were you even thinking? If you cannot do it right, don't do it at all. These messages get stored in our subconscious, making you overthink before taking action, fear trying new things, feel like a failure if you're not perfect, and avoid risks even when they can benefit you. Over time, this conditioned you to believe if I mess up, I will disappoint people. I won't be good enough. I don't deserve to be here. And this fear followed you into adulthood. We linked mistakes with feeling unworthy, stupid, or unloved. So we started avoiding them at all costs. The next one, it's also kind of connected to perfectionism and social and society's pressure. Schools, workplaces, social media reward success and punish failure. Mistakes are often seen as weaknesses instead of learning opportunities. And social comparison makes it even worse. We only see perfect results online and not their failures. So now that you know where this fear comes from, how do you break free from it? And here's how. Reframe mistakes as learning. Instead of seeing mistakes as a failure, start seeing them as data. Every mistake actually teaches you what works and what doesn't work, and it brings you closer to what you want. Remind yourself you won't be rejected. The people who truly matter won't abandon you because of mistakes. And honestly, most people are too busy about themselves to judge you. And if you still feel judged in the society, you need to understand that happy people who accept themselves and also have knowledge would support you and understand that this is the only way you can get better, and they would never be mean to you. And it's also important for you to get rid of it, because if you are like in such a toxic environment, you start judging yourself, and probably you will also start judging other people, and we don't want to reproduce it. And the last one, embrace imperfection and take actions anyway. Done is better than perfect. If you wait until you are 100% ready, you'll never start. So go ahead, mess up, learn, and keep moving forward. So, what I want to say in conclusion, if you have fear of making mistakes, it's not your fault, and you can reprogram it. Your fear of making mistakes isn't because you are weak, it's because your brain is wired to protect you from rejection and failure. But now that you know where it comes from, you can challenge it and start seeing mistakes as normal and necessary for growth. So I hope that this video helped you, and see you guys.